Alright guys, in this video we're going to be taking a look at some of the more new recent Nintendo news, the Switch update, what's going on with Gameshare, and we're even going to be talking about Xbox today and their new pricing for their stuff, so if you want to know about that, stay tuned towards the end of the video. So the first thing is, obviously, the Nintendo Switch update that came out last night. System update version number 20 is now available for download for all Switch 1 units, and taking a look at it right now on my system, we do have a few new icons. The news icon has changed. It's green now. And then the Nintendo's eShop icon has also changed. We are backing off from the orange and it's red. And they've also just completely overhauled the entire eShop as well. It's all red now. When you load it up, it's red instead of orange. The logo has changed a little bit, and pretty much everything has been swapped from orange to red, but the layout is still the same and it still functions horribly. We'll have to see how it functions for the Switch 2. I really do think that the Switch 2 eShop is going to be totally fine. Something about the Switch 1 eShop is just designed in a way that is not very compatible, I guess to say, with the Switch 1. It just doesn't work well, and I'm sure a lot of people agree. So yeah. We also have the new Gameshare feature is available, so they have completely removed the way to share games previously where you would just log in to someone else's Nintendo account on your Nintendo Switch, and then you could open the eShop with it and download the games and play them. It no longer works that way. You still can put other people's Nintendo accounts on your Switch, but you can no longer download their games from the eShop because they have implemented the virtual game card. So let's talk a little bit about the Gameshare. So when you select the Gameshare icon, you do have to log into an account. And it will ask you to join Gameshare, which is something you do have to do. But Gameshare is pretty much just going to be for when you're playing locally. So let's say Mario Kart World comes out. I got the bundle, so I have Mario Kart World, and then I have two friends who only got the system. Gameshare is basically going to be download play from the 3DS, which is a pretty big W. You will now be able to just share your copy of Mario Kart World with the two other Switch players, and you can all play together with only one copy of Mario Kart in person. Now, do keep in mind, this has to be in person. Your Switches have to be in close proximity for this to work. So keep that in mind. But for local play is a very big W, because now if there's games that you want to play locally with people, you no longer have to purchase multiple copies. You can buy one copy and share it with your friends locally. Or something like Mario Party, where not everyone wants to buy a copy of Mario Party. If that's just something you're going to be playing in person, you only need one copy. Only one person needs the game. And of course, we now also have the virtual game card icon, which is very interesting, and they definitely did make it seem like it was going to be an improvement, but so far it seems like the opposite. It has not been an improvement over the previous way to share games on the Nintendo Switch. So the way it works is all of the games that you own, whether it's actually a game or not, so it does include things like Funimation, Twitch, YouTube, etc. Anything that you own on your Nintendo eShop account is going to be a virtual game card, as well as DLCs. You can also share the DLCs, keep in mind. And when you select the game, it's going to ask a couple different options. There's load on this system, load on other system, lend a family group member, etc., etc. The only problem with this is we already knew that it was only going to last for 14 days. So when you lend someone a virtual game card, they have it for 14 days, and then it comes back to the owner. Virtual game card sharing only works in person. So no longer can you share your games wirelessly, virtually, whatever you want to call it. You can no longer share your games with your friends that live in other places. You have to be next to each other to share the game. So you can load the card onto your system to play it. You can load it onto another system, or you can lend it to a family group member. So if you're loading it on another system, you can just have the person next to you and they go to receive, and then they can just receive the game card. Same deal for lend a family group member, but it works specifically for family group member Nintendo Switch Online. So yeah, but it all has to be in person, which is very, very dumb. they did advertise it when they first showed it off. They advertised it all as pro game sharing, and it does seem like the game share feature itself is very pro game sharing. But the new virtual game card system is not very pro game sharing, and it's actually worse than the original way we had to share games that we can no longer do. So let me know what you guys think about virtual game cards in the comments below. Me personally, not a huge fan. I understand why they're doing it, and I understand the point behind it, but this is really only going to be useful for tight-knit friend groups and families. If you have friends that live in other places around the world, no longer can you share your games with them. And yeah, it's not... I don't think personally that it's an upgrade. I see some people saying why it's good, and I think there's definitely things about it that are good. It does make it easier to share your games with people you know in person, but again, it does take away a lot of the flexibility from the way we previously used to share games on the Nintendo Switch. So let me know what you guys think about GameShare down in the comments. If you like it, dislike it, let me know. And the last thing that I want to talk about today, we're keeping this episode or this video kind of short because there's not a whole lot to talk about, but we're going to talk about the Xbox prices. Xbox. Microsoft is upping all their prices with Xbox as of today, May 1st, 2025. We do have a statement from Xbox and GameStop, and I'm going to read that off for you guys right now. As of May 1st, we have adjusted recommended retailer pricing of our consoles and controllers worldwide. We also expect to adjust the pricing of some of our new first-party titles starting this holiday season to $79.99, $80. We understand that these are challenging. We understand that these changes are challenging and that they were made with careful consideration given market conditions and the rising cost of development. Looking ahead, we will continue to focus on offering more ways to play games across any screen and ensuring value for Xbox players. And then there is another image that has the new prices. So we're going to quickly go through all of them and then we're going to talk about them. So the 512GB Series S is going from $300 to $380. The 1TB Series S is going from $350 to $430. The Series X Digital Edition is going from $450 to $550. The Series X Physical Edition is going from $500 to $600. The Xbox Wireless Controller Limited Edition is going from $80 to $90. The Elite Controller is going from $140 to $150. The Elite Controller Full Edition is going from $180 to $200. And the official Xbox Wireless Headset is going from $110 to $120. So, pretty much the headset and the controllers are going up $10 each. And the consoles are all going up by at least about $100. Now, people were very much complaining when Nintendo increased their prices because of tariffs. And they thought that this was a Nintendo issue. And now they're blaming... A lot of people are going to blame Nintendo because Nintendo was the first one to do it. And now Xbox is doing it, Microsoft is doing it, and PlayStation will probably soon follow. A lot of people are going to blame Nintendo. We do have to keep in mind that these changes aren't being made because of Nintendo's price change and the competitors realizing that now they can now up their prices as well. That's not necessarily the case. It's a situation of these tariffs are pretty bad, and now Xbox is releasing theirs, and PlayStation, Sony is probably soon going to release theirs as well. I mean, the lowest price increase for the console is the Series S, I believe. The Series, well, yeah, the Series S 512GB, which is like the worst version of the Xbox Series systems you can get, is getting an $80 price increase. So, yeah, not very great. Fortunately, this isn't happening at a time where the system just came out. The Series systems have been out for a while, so pretty much most people who are planning on getting a Series system already have one. However, it's still very not great that the prices are going up this much. Even a couple of them, the Series X consoles, are going up $100 flat. Yeah, it makes Nintendo seem like the cheaper option again. Nintendo has always been the cheaper option with their console, the Switch 2 being $450 or $500 for the World Bundle. So yeah, the Mario Kart World bundle is now $100 less than an Xbox Series X. So Nintendo is back to being the cheaper option. I'm sure PlayStation's going to follow up soon. Let me know what you guys think. Is PlayStation going to increase their prices? Are they not going to increase their prices? Do you think Xbox is going to follow through with these price changes, or do you think they're going to go back? It does say that these are effective as of May 1st today, MSRP. So we'll have to see if they keep these prices, if they go back with them. I think they will honestly they will keep these prices. And even after the tariff, even if the tariffs get revoked, I think these prices are here to stay. I don't think they're going to go back on prices because people are going to purchase them regardless. And Nintendo kind of had that thought from the beginning, I believe. So that's why they were just go ahead and bit the bullet and announce the price increases. And now Xbox is following, and PlayStation will follow after them. So yeah, I'm interested to see how this is going to affect other companies, like indie developers. Are indie developer games going to get raised in price because maybe they're going to have to start paying more to get their games on these systems? Are indie developers going to have to start paying more? Are the big virtual reality retailers going to have to start increasing their prices, like Oculus, Meta, and Vive, and all that? Are those going to start going up? We'll have to see what happens, but this is not looking good for the gaming industry in general. I mean, just alone the console and accessory price increases for Xbox is pretty bad, but them also just straight up saying, yeah, we're going to do $80 games too, starting around the holiday season. Yeah, not looking good for consumers, video game market consumers. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you like the new Nintendo Switch update? Do you like Gameshare and virtual game cards or not? And what do you think about the Xbox, the new Xbox price changing? Do you think this is Nintendo's fault? Do you think this is a tariff issue? I personally believe this is a tariff issue. Nintendo just decided to bite the bullet first since their console is coming out in just a month. And now other companies are going to follow suit. Now that someone else has taken the blame, they're going to start capitalizing, Xbox being the example here. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video.